Hey everybody, welcome to What Do You Say Anime. I am your host Peter, and on today's episode we will be doing a fun style anime Attack on Titan debate. Pick a side, Gabi gang, Potato gang, Eren, Gabi, who knows? We got a really nice debate going. Joining us, our co-host for today. You know him from hashtag Anime Talk, you know him from Fuck Gabi. You see him from TikTok, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, everything. Chrissa, SJE, how's it going today?
Man, I'm doing amazing. I woke up early today, went get some brunch, you know what I'm saying? I'm full, I'm feeling amazing.
That's great. And joining us from our podcast, the What Do You Say Anime podcast, we have Miles. Miles, how's it going today?
Yeah, I have a much shorter list of things I do. But you know, I'm not intimidated. I'm here to represent Gabi. Hashtag Gabi Gang. You know, I spent the morning in the lab, and now I'm ready to talk some AOT.
Let's do it. So we'll be choosing a side. We got Chrissa. Obviously, he's Potato Gang for life, and he will be representing, Eren, that whole side, and Miles will be playing the villain, and he'll be signing with Gabi and his whole ideals with that. So this will be really fun. But just before we start, just to let you know, this is going to be an anime-only debate, so we'll be up until episode 68. So anything, if you're a manga reader and you know stuff that has happened, we don't know that yet, so we're not even going to be talking about it. If you have questions that you want to talk, that Miles and Chrissa should talk about, leave it in the Twitch chat. So if you're listening to this as a podcast, you missed it, but so if you have questions that they want to debate, leave it in the Twitch chat and we'll go forward with it. But other than that, this is going to be a for fun, friendly debate. And then Chrissa, since you are a guest, you are very, very pro Eren, anti Gabi. How about you start things off and give us your take on like why you hate Gabi, why you love, or maybe not even love Eren, but why you side with him.
All right. But he's definitely the type of character that has to grow on you. Like Eren's not gonna win you over his like the first couple episodes. He's the type of person that I don't really think I fell for Eren as a character till like maybe season 3. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the end of season 2, season 3. Really love him in season 4 just because this is the moment we've all kind of been waiting for if you're watching from season 1 to season 3, because you're waiting to see him finally get his revenge. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, the revenge may not have been 100% just, but there were certain elements of it that make more sense, especially than the way Gabi went out. You know what I'm saying? And with her, the reason why I don't really like her so much is because when she first showed up, she was just like Eren, kind of annoying, kind of like a brat, but she didn't really have that time to grow on me yet. You know what I'm saying? So if I do like her eventually, because people keep saying, wait till the end of the manga, wait till the anime keeps, unfolding. I'm like, as of right now, I don't see her redeeming herself. Like, me, I'm big on fuck Rachel from Tower of God. To me, she's up there. Like, as far as, what I'm saying, people say Rachel might be able to come back. Those are two characters that you have to do a lot to win me back over. You know what I'm saying? You lean too far right to swing back left.
All right, Miles, and how about your thoughts on maybe the opposite of what Chrissa just said?
So what's interesting is that we're going to be coming from this in like a very similar place, So the reason that I can sympathize with Gabi and I don't blame her for anything, that she's done is that, in a lot of ways she really is similar to Eren. So, Eren is taking some actions, justified or not, at this point in the show, in order to defend his homeland, or at least that's how he's viewing it, as like a protection of his heritage and things like that. And, Gabi's actions are in the same vein, when she kills Sasha, she had literally seen Sasha murder her commanding officers in front of her. And so like I'm, not gonna blame someone to protect their homeland when it's actively being invaded. And there's a lot of stuff to talk about here, right? The like socio-political situation of Attack on Titan is a freaking mess. But Gabi doesn't know that. Gabi's a kid, and Gabi just wants to fight, for Marley to help prove that the Eldians who are there are worth there. She, in a lot of ways, is naive and doesn't realize that, it's almost impossible to prove herself to the people that are sort of looking down on her. And I just think it's like a very interesting character dynamic, and having to deal with learning stuff about the world is neat. And I guess it makes a lot of sense to me why she would kill Sasha, why she would go and fight. Much like Eren, she's a fighter, and if we're going to be with Eren on this journey as he's, squashing civilians like they're bugs, I'm not going to get mad at Gabi for, killing someone who just killed a bunch of people she knew. So
For sure.
That's my general take.
All right. So that's like our starting side. So now you can pick your side. Are you Team Chrissa? Are you Team Miles? So we got our first Twitch question. So I'll pass the one to Chrissa first, and then Miles, you can go next. What would you say if Paradise didn't strike Marley? So what's your thoughts on that?
So, okay, I'll take this first, I guess. If they hadn't invaded Marley, it's a little hard because one, Gabi would have never killed Sasha, right? Like this would have never happened because Sasha wouldn't have been there. And part of the reason that I forget what his name, but like the descendant of like the hero or whatever, who Eren like pops out of the building and just like eats him immediately. His name is escaping me right now, but the reason that he was sort of making the speech and stuff was because they knew that Paradis was like infiltrating, and they knew there was like, some stuff going on that island. They had been missing boats and stuff like that. So like, it in the given scenario, like if Paradis had like never came in and invaded, like then I guess Marley's probably in the wrong, because in the current time frame, Marley is the one who is the oppressor. So I'm not trying to defend everything that Marley's doing here. I think that the situation came up like it has, for viable reasons or whatever that mirror things we see in reality, unfortunately. But I guess, but how can you defend people who hate your guts and only have you alive to use you for Titans? I mean, I think that's like a pretty complicated thing. You know what I mean? Like she grew up there, and she, people grow up in places that don't treat them as equals all the time and still care about those places, like, you see that, like just like in the history of, the United States, there were, black battalions in the Revolutionary War. We had like the Navajo speakers and stuff in World War II. There are places, so like you can be loyal to a place that is oppressing you. Like it's not that, rare or it's simple, I guess, because, sure, it might be unfortunate for her that, she's being oppressed like this and her whole culture and stuff is being, but she grew up there. She has memories with the people there. The commanding officers that she shot killed, like, wanted to protect her. They have friendships with each other. And like, it's not a simple black and white thing. It's, it's
okay.
I don't know.
I think we got your side. Yeah, Chrissa, do you have anything that you want to branch off of that question? I know that we might have gotten a little sidetracked there, but I guess, do you have anything that you want to say about Paradise and Marley and stuff like that?
Well, there's definitely a few different things, a few different points, like especially about Paradise, not attacking. At the same time, I feel like the whole speech and the whole setup was meant. It was there because they got wind of Paradise doing some fucked up shit. You know what I'm saying? Doing some stuff behind closed doors that they weren't supposed to be doing, and are like invading, infiltrating, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like without Paradise really attacking or them even getting wind of that, they're still not gonna let Paradise just live and just, you know what I'm saying? They were already killing their people indiscriminately. Like they sent Reiner over there with Annie and Bernholt. They went over there on a mission, like they set that in motion. So whatever, I feel like whatever happens from that end is meant to happen, because it would have never happened if they didn't send those guys out there to break that wall, you know what I'm saying, and infiltrate the way they did. The world wasn't already right before that. The world was already complicated, and it has some chaos going on, but at the same time, that's what set that event into motion. That direct event set the next direct event into motion. You don't get an attack on Marley without the attack on what is it?
Titan.
Gigantia. Gigantia. Like literally, you don't get an attack on Marley without the attack on Gigantia. And I don't think that without them attacking Marley, they don't do anything for Gigantia again. I think that they would still declare war on Eren. They still would kill Eren, all his people. They were on that before. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like they don't care about, as far as Gabi just being a brainwashed little girl, because at the end of the day, she is a 12-year-old girl. At the end of the day, she is a soldier. But I look at characters like Falco, who I really loved from his entrance. You know how I said I didn't really like Gabi from her entrance too much. Falco, like from the jump, I kind of liked him. I liked the way he examined situations. I kind of saw that he was picking up more than he should have been picking up. And he was exposed to the same stuff Gabi was exposed to. The only thing I feel like he was exposed to that she wasn't was the whole Eren, the whole the Mr. what is it, Kruger? Whenever he was like undercover as Kruger, he was exposed to that, and he was exposed to, the whole conversation with Eren and Reiner. But other than that, they're both brainwashed kids. He saw a couple things that Gabi didn't, tried to tell Gabi about it, and Gabi was not trying to hear that shit at all. And I can understand that. You just saw. My thing is, I don't feel that bad for Gabi. I feel more so bad for Zofia and Udo, who are real life casualties. They literally, what I'm saying? Zofia, from what they showed of her, looked like a sweet girl. Looked like she wasn't like a hard body. She wasn't as annoying to me as Gabi, but she's on the same side. So I feel like she actively didn't deserve that. But as far as Gabi, all of her superiors told her to go home. When Falco caught up to her, Falco was like, hey, this is a weird situation, but I don't know how we should act right now, because I just got some information that may be pertinent to the situation, and I don't want to act without knowing more, because I'm already questioning things. That's what I like about Falco. From the beginning, he seemed to question the situation he was in. Gabi is just like head first. She's like, I'm a soldier first, thinking later. At the same time, if you really wanted to be a hero for Marley, you wouldn't she definitely got her revenge for what Sasha did to, Sasha killed somebody right in front of her. So she got revenge for that. She took out one op on the other side. But if she would have sat back and collected herself, she could have probably put something into place to where, what I'm saying, if you think out a plan, because all she did was go out there and get captured. She went out there, she killed one person and got captured. She's missing two of her best friends and didn't even kill two of the opposing side. I feel like she could have, and it's expecting a lot from a 12-year-old girl, but at the same time, it's not expecting too much from a soldier to obey orders. And literally, there was a superior officer, I think it was Falco's brother, chasing them whenever she was boarding the aircraft. He was like, bro, no, like, we get it. We know that's the bad guy. What are you about to do? Falco's even telling her himself. He's like, bro, they just took out Zeke. Like, what do you think you're about to do besides go to a quick death? And I feel like as Eren, growing up, he was head first and he made a lot of brash decisions, but he was trying to kill Titans, and he was not trying to die quick, go on these quick suicide missions. He saw so many people die in front of him, and I feel like that set him to be the man he is, breaking into Marley. But Gabi only saw a few people die. It's in the moment, and she didn't really get, I don't want to say important revenge, but her revenge, all she did was kill Sasha. What was Sasha and the crew besides a beloved character? Sasha was nobody important. She didn't even get an important kill off. She didn't kill Levi. She didn't kill Armin. You know what I'm saying? She killed Sasha and got caught. They stomped her out. They caught her, and she got Falco caught too. And I just can't respect those kind of actions. You know what I'm saying? And even though you could debate that Eren got Sasha killed by breaking into Paradise, I'm one of the people. Breaking into Marley. I feel like they would have gotten killed regardless. If Eren and Mikasa and Armin, if they would have just sat back and just played cool, they would have eventually seen their day. They would have been killed. Nobody would even bat an eye. But I feel like this is exposing. Like Eren pulled up, he killed Tiber. He got Warhammer. He killed Warhammer Titan. He pulled up and took one of their biggest weapons and took out their leader, the leader that was causing a lot of Tiber's the one who sent the hit in the first place. Sent Reiner to do that make the questionable decision that he did. So I feel more sympathy or empathy. I don't know which one it is, but I feel more for Eren because he's endured more, and I feel like he's fighting for a bigger cause. Whereas Gabi is definitely fighting to try to prove herself, but she's trying to prove herself to people that will never care about her, no matter how much she proves. She will never be looked at the way she wants to. And I think Reiner kind of understands that. I saw it with Zeke. Whenever Zeke came back and they were like, "You failed your mission, like you're a failure." They're talking to Zeke like that. He's Beast Titan. He's just sitting there taking it. They're talking to him like he's a punk. You know what I'm saying? And that it let me know that it doesn't matter what your role is on these people's side. You're still an Eldian. You're still their slave. You're still looked at as less than them. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, for sure. Okay, so I think that brings up a really good point. So like the convictions and the actions and the motivation behind Eren is kind of like the difference in the parallel between him and Gabi. Chrissa, I know your side on Eren is wrong. So Miles, I want to ask you this question, where it's like the comparisons between Gabi and Eren are very similar, but as Chrissa said in his descriptions, how he differs between the two and how Eren is a little maybe more just, I guess maybe is the correct word. It's hard to say because this is in war and sometimes logic and rules don't make sense in this type of situation. So I guess, Miles, how do you feel about the difference, or sorry, the similarities and the difference between the two of Eren and Gabi?
Yeah, so I think they're similar. I do think that Chris is giving a little too much credit to Eren in his attack that he did on Marley at Libero, because so to me the main difference between them is that Gabi is young, and I have a hard time blaming someone who hasn't been around the block once or twice for making a mistake or doing something that's rash. Eren sneaks in there. He doesn't know if he has support from the Survey Corps and everything. He's sending people letters, here's my plan. Show up if you want to. I'm doing this thing. This is mine. And we even see at the end, you say Gabi's not listening to her. So Eren's in prison at the end of the last episode, probably for the unplanned, unsanctioned attack on a foreign nation. I think that you mentioned that, Gabi, unlike some of the other Eldians, even including Reiner, don't seem to have this sympathy. She's filled with hatred towards, her own group of people, for the people on the island. She's just a very angry child, and it's probably just her way of manifesting this. But if Eren had learned anything from his time as a impulsive person, maybe he would have realized we have this entire group of people that are essentially our people here, who are all being oppressed, and they're, they do their thing because they have to. But if we, could team up with them, we could talk to them, we could, try to get people on their side, on our side, then maybe it's possible to, stage a coup or something from the inside. Because without the Eldians, the Marleyan army is nothing. You could essentially end the war with little to no casualties. Because most of those Titans, I feel, Zeke's parents were, you know, anti-Marleyan operatives and stuff. I'm sure he has very conflicted feelings about the decisions he's made. And, Raynor obviously was showing some regret. People like Falco, once they were hearing about what was happening and what the situation over in Paradis was actually like, they could. I mean, Eren himself could see that they would like question the status quo. So you have this entire oppressed group you could get to like rise up with you potentially, and maybe try to do like a military coup type of thing where you just take out the people who are in power, and you can establish equality laws between the things. There's like stuff you could try before you go all Attack Titan on him. But that's just not Eren's jam. So, like, because Eren's thing, like, all he did was plotted, it was not in the heat of the moment, right? He did an operation that lasted months and months and months, right? And then Gabi is just this child whose homeland just got attacked, and she has no idea what's going on, and all she wants to do is try to prove herself worthy. So she takes this rash action to do so. And she wants to get a better life for her family and for herself. Because you get that status upgrade, you become a official Marleyan once you're carrying, one of the 9 Titans in you. So, I think that, the reason that I'm more sympathetic towards Gabi than Eren, again, just to sum it up real quick, is that, Gabi's actions were a result of panic and shock and trying to defend yourself and, like, just being in the heat of the moment. And Eren planned assault for months, essentially, before he, did the thing. So that's my thoughts on that.
Okay, for sure. I guess, Chrissa, I'm gonna pass it to you real quick. I guess, do you have like any thoughts on like how I guess Eren came to be, like, because we're describing Gabi as like this 12-year-old who is going through this event like all at once. It's like this like catastrophic battle in her homeland that she is just in utter shock of what's happening. And then Eren is kind of a little different because he's grown inside the walls his entire life. He sees his mother being eaten by a Titan, and I guess it's more of like an induced rage, I guess, for his motivation. So I guess tell me your thoughts on kind of like what Miles said, and also just like your thoughts in general on like siding with Eren.
Well, I'm gonna kind of tap into the most recent episode, the one before the one we get tomorrow. But the one where we get Eren, sitting by the lake, the body of water. I want to say it was like a little lake pond or whatever, and he's like, I don't know, fishing or just looking off, concentrating. And Armin's talking about how there's potential for peace, there's potential to talk it out. I feel like Eren's weighing all these things in his head, and coming from where he's coming from, seeing what he's seen. I feel the same way Eren feels. There's no talking to these people. Now, let me tell you a little bit of why I feel the way I feel about Marley. So you can see Eren's crew, right, is appalled at his decision making. You could see Mikasa's telling him, "Hey, bro, do you see what you're doing right now? Like, look at what you're doing." He's like, "I don't care." He's like, "I know I made this decision before I did it." And you're kind of seeing everybody looking at him like, "Bro, you're down bad." But at the same time, I feel like what were they gonna do if not, like, they were already plotting something. He just took it too far. But at the same time, his own people didn't know how far he was gonna take it. Well, they knew from the letters, but you know what I'm saying? At the same time, nobody knew how far he was gonna take it, and Tiber still declared war on it. Tiber was the one who was like, it's wartime. We're declaring war on Eren Yeager and the Devils of Paradise. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was like, well, you don't really get to see the crowd reaction because as soon as he says that, Eren's like, bet. He jumps out and he's like, war, it's war. So I feel like everybody who died after that, on their end, on Marley's end, I can't feel too bad. Like, I feel bad for Sophie and them because they really did nothing wrong at the same time. But I feel like it's justified because they literally just declared war on him, and then he's like, okay, it's war on me, and my people. Well, then I'm gonna be the first one to take out majority of y'all first. So y'all have already taken out enough people from my side. So I feel like there's no way, you know what I'm saying? I don't think Tiber would have reacted differently if Eren wouldn't have done what he did. I feel like Tiber's still declaring war. There's still going to be a lot of, I feel like we still get Sasha murked. And I feel like Eren from what he's seen in his life, he knows that you can't talk it out. He knows that you can do the right thing and still die. He's seen so many people on his side die. And if he were to just die and with everyone else, that dies in vain. So like his whole first crew, when they went out of the gates and they went on that mission chasing female Titan, which we now know is Annie. The whole first crew that was like, trust us, Eren. He was like, all right, I'm gonna fall back. I'm gonna y'all take the wheel. They all died, and he was the only one to survive. He's like fighting with the weight of all those people on his back. Those people don't know what he knows now, but at the same time, I feel like he's looking at a situation completely different than Armin is. Armin's sitting there trying to salvage it. He's trying to be the democratic one, and he's trying to really figure out a solution that involves, that can get us peace all around. But I feel like Eren didn't do much wrong, because I know a lot of people on Twitter would like to say that he was on some genocidal shit. He was trying to kill everybody in Marley. To me, it looks like he just went Titan mode, killed Tiber. Then he went straight after the Titans after that. He went after Warhammer Titan, beat the brakes off of Warhammer Titan, was beating Jaw. He was about to eat Jaw Titan right after eating Warhammer Titan. So I feel like he had a specific mission. He wasn't trying to just kill as many people as possible. He was trying to rake in as many Titans as he could, which to me means you're not only killing a little bit of the enemy, but you're getting rid of the enemy's biggest weapons. So then what kind of leverage do you have for a peace talk whenever you took all the weapons away from this person? Like, it's like, now we can talk, because you were killing me. My side was severely losing. If I wouldn't do this, I would have lost. Y'all, for all intents and purposes, should be winning this fight. But I'm pulling up, taking all your weapons and saying, okay, you know what I'm saying? It is a fight move to do that. It was a force of action. But at the same time, I don't blame him for doing it. I feel like he definitely made some questionable decisions. He killed some innocent people, and that is definitely wrong to a certain extent. But as far as Gabi goes, I definitely feel for her, because she was put in a bad situation since birth. But I just feel like she should have, just for the fact that Falco saw some shit and Falco tried to tell her about it, and she was like, I'm not trying to hear that. I wish he would have pushed a little bit harder and been like, oh, no, I don't know, man. I really don't know. It seems deeper than, like, I saw Reiner cry. That's my big, I look up to Reiner. I saw him cry at the feet of Eren and tell him to kill him because he felt so guilty. And it's not like I'm hearing Eren say, oh, they broke in, they killed my mama, yada, yada. Right? I mean, Falco doesn't know anything about that. Falco just sees Reiner bowing down to Eren, crying, saying, kill me, looking like he deserves it, looking like he knows he's on the wrong side of the fight. And that whole speech that he had to witness, there's no way I'm letting Gabi throw her life away by jumping on that aircraft, because I don't think that Gene, whatever his name is, I don't think they're gonna kill Gabi. They got her captured, but they were like, hey, let's throw her off the aircraft, and he was like, we're not gonna throw off. If we throw her off the aircraft, where does this end? And I just don't feel as if Eren had these super evil intentions, as far as he was just trying to do what was right for his people. And so was Gabi, but Gabi just made, in my opinion, the worst decision for her people, because she didn't do much for her people aside from trying to get revenge in the form of killing one soldier. Whereas Eren wasn't trying to get revenge in the form of killing a bunch of soldiers. He was trying to push towards that next step, as far as getting rid of Tiber, who was the main aggressor, who sent the hit in the first place. There would be no war without that hit getting sent. So Eren's not really thinking on this evil level, like kill everybody. He's like, I'm going to kill Tiber. I mean, which is fair game, because he literally just declared war on me. And then after that, I'm going to go for the Titans, because these are the people who've been doing it. Was Reiner, and it was Colossal Titan that broke through the walls. The ones that their biggest weapons. You take their biggest weapons, what do I have to fear? And I feel like that's a move that puts you in a position of power. So where he goes from here will determine, for me, if he's, you know, a bad character or a good character. But as of right now, I can't say he really. He did kill innocent people, but to me, in my eyes, Sasha's innocent. So it's all about perspective. Like Sasha was quote unquote innocent, even though she killed somebody, but like she killed somebody. You know what I'm saying? But all her people have died too. So if Gabby's innocent for killing someone because her people died, I feel like they're just as innocent. And the only reason why I don't like Gabby is because I more so don't like her as a character, like in her motives and what she did with her motives. That's the only reason why I kind of don't really like Gabby, because she could have made better decisions. I know in the heat of the moment, it is hard to make a decision, especially if you're a 12-year-old girl, especially if you just saw two of your best friends die. But for me, that's all the more reason to sit back and want to really get some real revenge. I don't want to follow you on your aircraft. Like she literally told Falco, "Hey, I might not make it back. If I die, I want you to keep my mission going on." And she was fully prepared to go up there and die. If you just killed two of my best friends and you're on your way out, I'm gonna chase you, but I'm not gonna chase you that way. I'm not gonna chase you in the immediate death for me and my best friend way. You know, I'm gonna sit back like Eren and calculate some shit and I'm gonna hit you where it hurts, and I'm gonna maybe set in motion a stop for the violence altogether.
Okay, Miles, did you want to like address anything that Krista just said, or do you want to move on to the next question?
I think that, I mean, yeah, let's move on to the next question. They're all kind of related, so I can hit back with some stuff on whatever the next subject is.
Okay, perfect. So the next question, now this is just not only like he said, she said, one versus the other type of thing. So there's a lot of moral dilemma between Eren and his actions. So I guess I want to get both of your perspectives on, is Eren wrong, or is Eren like, in the phrase obviously like all is fair in love is war. So when you're in war, like almost anything goes as long as you win type of thing. So Eren has some unjustified, I think, in my personal opinion, some like unjustified actions, but he also has some like justified actions. So I guess from your perspective, like, is he in the right to punch first before he gets punched again type of thing? Or just like, how do you view like the morals that Eren perceives, regardless of like maybe how he started to where we currently are in the story? So Miles, you can start first.
Sure. So, I mean, I generally don't think Eren has been justified. I think especially the attack on Libero is just completely incorrect. I think there are ways to go about it that wouldn't have involved, invading a civilian heavy population. The main thing that, I'll point out is like, yeah, the Marlians had attacked Paradis, right? And like Tiber had, ordered that, and he, in order to, you know, draw out the people who were, infiltrating or whatever, did declare war on Paradis. It was something he wanted to get rid of. He wanted to get rid of the island, but I think it's important to think why. Why did he want to get rid of that island? Well, it's because of the history of the Eldians, right? So in the past, the Eldians, to quote the line from the manga, committed an ethnic cleansing that went on for 1,300 years. Now, people don't bear the sins of their fathers, but also society is like really bad at figuring that out. So because of the past wrong actions of the Eldians, I don't think we can just blame the Marlians and then say, well, it's justified for us to attack them, because then as soon as the Eldians get the upper hand, are the Marlians then justified in attacking back? And then you just get this horrible cycle of destruction between the two sides that we're seeing, being perpetrated as we speak. I think that, you have I guess like the most cerebral, the smartest and strategic member in Armin, who really thinks, or thought until Eren's actions, I don't know how positive he is that it's possible anymore, that you could reach peaceful means for this, that it would be possible to make peace. In order for this cycle to stop, one group is going to have to forgive the other group while they are the underdog, essentially, and accept that they can be brought up and we can be equals now. Eren's unwillingness to do that, I think, is just, without trying, I would say. He doesn't think it's possible, but he's not even willing to give Armin a chance at it, He's not willing to give, who's essentially his best friend, who he's seen figure out all of these impossible problems as time has gone on, who he chose to save over his previous commander because he trusted his leadership. In another move that got Eren sent into prison. This happens a lot. That, he wasn't willing to trust him. He just decided to do his entire plan by himself and sort of force the hand of his allies. And I think that, Gabi's not in a leadership position. Gabi is a child soldier. Eren is in a leadership position. He is an important person in the military. He is, their strongest weapon. People respect him. So in my mind, his brash decisions and his aggressiveness and desire for revenge is much more harmful than Gabi's would be. So I would say that Eren is not justified for what he did because he didn't wait or ever attempt at the other option, and people had presented to him other options.
Interesting. Okay, that was really good. Chrissa, how about your side of Eren ain't did nothing wrong?
I can agree with a lot of those points. This is the main thing. I definitely think that it is morally ambiguous whether Eren did nothing wrong or not. I don't think he did anything wrong in the aspect of his actions, in aspects of the killing and everything, and aspects of his decision of what his plan was. The only thing I think Eren did do wrong was go against his team. Like, if he would have had the support of his team and everything, that would have made what he did a lot better, in my opinion. But it seems like, everybody was against what he was trying to do. He was just like, bro, I got the vision. And I'm running with his vision. But at the same time, the one thing that I think he did do wrong was ignore the wishes of his team. You're supposed to be a team player, and you're on a team for a reason. So if you do go against a team that is a strike against you, I can't say you did absolutely nothing wrong when you literally were selfish enough to do some shit yourself. You know what I'm saying? Do some shit yourself, going against the wishes of people, the majority. Even if you feel like your team is in the wrong, they're in the majority, and that's your side. You can't go against your side. So I will say Eren did wrong as far as that. But just as far as the actions he took that he felt that were necessary, I can't tell him. If I was in the world, I wouldn't be able to look at him in his face and tell him, I don't understand why you did what you did. I wish you wouldn't have did what you did, because I don't think he did nothing too bad, as far as he did set into motion killing Zofia and Udo. He set in Gabi's little, her basically rage mode. He set off Gabi's rage mode, and that did work to his detriment. You know what I'm saying? It got one of our team members killed. I just feel as if, what else was he supposed to do? When faced with other options, he could have went with what Armin wanted. I don't think that plan would have worked out in their favor. I feel like they would have got put into a situation where they were backed against the wall, and he would have had to do the same thing, or attempted to do the same thing in a world where they know your plan. You're like, literally, you're asking for peace, and I don't think they would have given them peace. I don't see a world where Zeke went out there and did his thing, and then he came back and they were telling him, like, straight up, dude, you are a failure. They were like, you failed the mission. I thought they would at least honor him like a soldier. They were just like, bro, you don't even talk right now. You can't even get a simple job done. And I think these are cold-blooded people. Like, I feel like the leader of Marley at the time, Tiber, you could tell he felt kind of remorseful about his decisions earlier on in this season. Whenever he started speaking, he was speaking to people before you start seeing the whole speech happen. You can see he's walking around like he done seen some shit, and like he got some heavy shit on his shoulders to get off. But I feel like he's one of the most selfish of all, because he was living. King Fritz did all the fucked up, like, whatever happened in King Fritz era was done for peace. The action that Tiber set into motion, he can say it was for peace, but you literally sent people to die, and that spiraled people into trauma that came back to bite you in the ass, which is the same thing Eren did. He broke into people's home, killed people, and caused trauma to come back and bite him in the ass. but I feel like it had to be done. I feel like what else was he supposed to do? And especially when they did it to him first, an eye for an eye to me is a better outlook on this kind of situation than what's the other saying?
Turn the other cheek.
What, like two wrongs don't make a right. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because I do believe two wrongs don't make a right. And you see that here 1,000%. But I feel like he was put in a predicament to where it's like it's you or me, and it's not gonna be me. And I feel like that's the whole thing. Eren's sitting there looking at the gang. He's not listening to what they're trying to say. You could probably trust Armin. Armin is a smart character. He could probably get something done, but I don't see any scenario where we don't take an incredible hit, because they're willing to kill innocent people for no reason. What make like Eren was willing to kill innocent people for no reason because he knows that on their side they're willing to kill innocent people for no reason. He wouldn't kill innocent people for no reason if we were dealing with people who didn't bum rush his country, his state. And that's just the mindset I feel like he's in. He's seen otherwise. Armin's like, we can talk to them. They're understanding people. If they were understanding people, they wouldn't have killed innocent people. If you kill innocent people, you can't be mad when your innocent people get killed. Sure, the people are innocent on both sides, but if you start a war, once the war is started, all the casualties after that is on you. The blood is on your hands. I feel like the blood's not more so on Eren's hands, even though he made a retaliation move. But what other, like, this is my thing, right? You can go for a peaceful move, but if somebody punches you in the face, knocks you down, teeth fly out your mouth, you're bleeding, you get up and you say, hey man, let's hug it out. You're not gonna get far in that fight. And for him punching back, I think he hit hard when he punched back. But at the same time, you can't ask for peace when one side already is throwing violence your way. You're just retaliating with more violence.
So I guess like in a world where there are only two groups, that is true, right? Like if it's just you and someone else, like for sure. But you can go get some allies, right? So like you're in the schoolyard and like you're like me growing up, you're one of the nerds, whatever, and the kids beating you up. You can't do anything about it. They're stronger than you. You can hit back, they're stronger than you. Or, this kid's picking on some other kids too, like we should go talk to them, and then you can group up together. So 3,000 years ago or whatever, Eldion was the big bad guy, right? And they conquered the entire world and then started infighting because there was no one left to conquer, essentially. And during that infighting, Marley was able to take advantage. Well, now the big bad guy empire in the world is Marley. The tables have turned. And we know that Marley has subjugated other nations. We know that they're actively at war with other nations. And we also know that those nations probably don't give a fuck about Paradise Island. Why do they care? It's just like a group of essentially primitive people. So you can reach out to them. You can reach out to the refugee Eldians who live in Marley, who you've seen that. I'm not saying you don't have to fight back. What I'm saying is that you can fight back in ways that aren't all out war or battles, parts of their workforce are probably these immigrant countries and stuff that they have taken over. And this is a less compelling anime where you set up a work strike, where all the subjugated people stop working at the factory or whatever. No one wants to watch that. So, I get that. But that's the approach that Armin would take. I don't think Armin's trying to hug Marley. I think Armin's trying to get some friends to stand up to Marley. So they can say, you're going to have to listen to us because there's 4 of us and 1 of you. And, you might be stronger than 1 or 2 of us, but you're not stronger than all of us. You need us and we need to work together or we're going to beat the shit out of you. And then you show them Eren and you say, this kid's going to do it, because sometimes you do have to fight.
I love that example.
So like, that's what I imagine Armin's plan would have been. So like, I'm with you that like, and maybe this will come to light if Armin's plan was just like, hey, let's go talk to Tiber and be like, hey, pretty please don't hate us anymore, then yeah, go ahead. Just beat the shit out of him. That's like a way better plan. But I think Eren's plan was really kind of emotional and not calculated. Because what about the fail state? What happens if he loses, right? For whatever reason, his Survey Corp friends are just like, you know what? Jesus Christ, Eren, we're sick of your shit. Go do your thing. His entire nation dies, right? Because he's their weapon. He's their equalizer. He's what they have. So him going out there and risking himself without making sure he has buy-in of the group, regardless of the fact that he was successful or not in his attack, if he had been on that boat and or like closer, and instead of shooting Shasha, Gabi had shot him in the head, Marley wins. Right there, it's over. And I think his just personal drive to pay back the people who had wronged him sort of usurps his desire to help his country and friends in reality when you look at his actions and what they've done. Just because they put them in a more advantageous position doesn't mean the risk reward there was good. They got an extra Titan, which was very good, but it's like you get one of their 7 or 6 weapons that they have remaining, or we lose. Those are the two sides. And, I'm not sure that's a risk I'm wanting to take, which did sort of force his friends' hands, because they are smart enough to realize that if they just let Eren kill a whole bunch of Marleyans until he dies, which would have been really soon because the Warhammer Titan pinned him pretty quickly until Mikasa showed up, then he loses. So, I think what Eren did was sort of impulsive, and I don't think knowingly, but relatively manipulative, because he was sort of forcing his friends to take his option because he knows, I think, that he's needed, basically. They have to go with him. Levi can't do all this shit on his own, as badass as he is. So that's my thoughts on that. That's what I would say.
You definitely got my eyes a little bit more open and looking at it from a different perspective, as far as, because me from the jump, I was never I don't want to say concerned. Me, when I'm looking at Mikasa's concern, when I'm seeing her hey, this not, what I'm saying, what are we doing, Eren? I'm looking at it Mika, get your head in the game. We're at war right now. They just declared war on y'all. She's looking at it we don't even want to be doing this shit. You're making us do this shit. And I never looked at it like that. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, they weren't on board with Eren's decision, but I feel like unless they had a better decision, I don't know how you could go against that decision. But who knows? Armin may have had a better plan. And I hope we do get to see what Armin's plan was. But as of now, I guess we won't, we'll never know what his plan was, because we went with, or how it would have worked, because we went with another direction, which you see in the latest episode, Armin kind of says, now there's for sure no chance of peace.
Yeah.
Whereas that it does make sense that I can see them trying. Your the way you kind of the plan you had set up, the hypothetical plan for Armin to maybe to link up with everybody else, that is a good plan. I can't even deny that. I don't know 100% if it would work, but at the same time, we don't know 100% if Eren's plan would work either. So, and I will agree with you on the point that he's going out of emotion, just as he's making rash decisions based off of emotion, just as Gabi would.
Yeah. But
just in a higher position. I just know for sure, if it was me, if I was Mikasa, I'm riding with Eren. If I was Armin, I'm riding with Eren. If I was Armin, I'd be using that big brain to concoct a strike on Marley, not just to get back. Because my thing is, it's not about revenge. I feel like Eren sitting there we're taking. He didn't even know what the fuck a Warhammer Titan was, but he knew he was trying to take Beast Titan. And they did get Warhammer Titan, and they got Beast Titan. He didn't eat Beast Titan, but Beast Titan's up there with him. Zeke is up there. I'm looking forward to seeing what he called Gabi and Falco miscalculations, and it seems like some weird shit's going on to where Levi's going to use him for something. So I want to see how he's in on this. You know what I'm saying? I want to see what role he's playing in this. But to me, Eren's not wrong for wanting to pull up over there, take all their weapons, and beat who he got to beat, because sure, it's gonna feel good to get the revenge, but I don't think that was his leading motive. I think his motive was to be like, man, we ending this shit now. We not doing all that talking, which is kind of how you would feel after somebody broke, as you can see from Gabi's actions. If after somebody breaks into your crib and kills your friends, you're gonna want to kill back. You're gonna want to get them back. But it's not I don't think it's straight just off of that. I know it had something to do with it for sure. Eren's not feeling good beating, attacking Marley. But I definitely will agree. You got me looking at it from a different perspective as far as what the situation he threw his friends into. I don't necessarily think he was intentionally being manipulative, but like you said, intentionally or not, that is a very manipulative move to get to throw your friends in that water. Like, not even your friends, but your team. Like, this is essentially the people you work with to get your mission done. And whatever decision gets made, y'all have to work as a team to get it done. That's why I feel like they came anyway, because they were like, well, you are our biggest weapon. We can't let you go out like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like he knew that, which is a little bit manipulative. And I can't necessarily agree with that, but I do agree. I wish everybody would have been more on board with what he wanted to do. Because I feel like his philosophy may have been very barbaric and very soldier-esque, but honed in a little bit. Like, if Armin would have been able to get in there and like recalculate a little bit instead of going against it, because I don't see a situation, where you don't attack Marley. But like you said, you did raise a great point talking about, getting more forces against Marley to where it's 4-on-1 versus 1-on-1, or 1-on-1 and the rest.
Yeah. So I think that, like, you're probably right. You probably end up attacking Marley, right? Marley, one, you have to get these people to agree. And even if they agree, Marley is an empire. They are very strong. They have leverage over these other empires, as we've seen with, how the Titans react and like raising the social status of family and stuff. So my main complaint with Eren here is that instead of like trying to work with Armin and refining a plan together, maybe making like a hybrid plan where they have these meetings and stuff. Meanwhile, Eren's in this basement, right? And if all of a sudden these peace talks or whatever fall out, then he just comes up and does his thing, like the moment Marley's like, nah, fuck you, we're going to kill you anyway. You have Eren launch this like surprise attack he's been wanting to launch. It could work. I just think that the main difference to me between Gabi and Eren is that Gabi doesn't matter. She's just a soldier. She's a kid. Her actions aren't endangering her entire country. They are obviously selfish for revenge and stuff. Going out for revenge isn't always justified, right? It's better to keep a cool head often, because she got Falco all wrapped up in this, right? It had her actions clearly had consequences. Mm-hmm. And I think that mirrors what Eren did, but Eren didn't get, his 13-year-old crush wrapped in on this. He got his entire nation wrapped up in this. So he like in for a penny, in for a pounded, that decision for like a couple thousand people or whatever it is versus, one other person. And so that's why I, have my reservations about what Eren did, as opposed to like what Gabi did, because I just think that Eren should know by now. That's all. He should know what happens when he does things like this.
Right on. That was really good.
Hoping, like, me personally, just from a viewer standpoint, I'm just hoping with my fingers crossed that Eren's decisions are for the better. Like, I'm hoping that the line of events that happened after what he set in motion with the Marley attack, I'm hoping it wasn't, not saying for no reason, but I'm hoping it wasn't for, like, I hope it didn't start anything negative. Cause I'm thinking that's a good first step, regardless on if his team liked it or not. We lost Sasha, which is bad, but I still think it was a good step. We lost like 7. It was like 7 casualties, right? Not our side, but on Eren's side. Mm-hmm. I still feel like, it was 7 casualties on that side, but at the same time, hopefully what was set into motion does not work to their detriment. I feel like whatever he did, hopefully was more thought out, because I'm thinking he plotted this out, because he seemed like he was sitting on this idea for however long.
Yeah.
And
Well, yeah.
like a lot of people were just going for the, like, they were saying he was trying to kill everybody and kill the kids. He was just murdering the kids. I'm like, he wasn't. Let's not act like Eren went over there and was just picking up little kids and breaking them in half. He went over there, he went type mode, kids died. He just so happened to kill some kids while he was trying to get a hold of Beast Titan. Saw Warhammer Titan. He's like, might as well get this shit too. And he was gonna eat Jaw Titan if he could. He was about to get all them Titans. So I'm sitting there looking at it like he was trying to do some good shit, just on a huge scale. So just the whole the intention on like the thing with me is the intention was there. Like it wasn't negative intent. He wasn't trying to make things harder for his team. He was trying to make things easier for his team, and they just didn't look at it like that. And I can see how they wouldn't look at it like that. But it's just the intent for me, because Gabi, I feel like she's just like Reiner. She just wants to, prove herself, which is, necessary in her, in her mind. If you were her, you would want to do the same thing. But that's what got a lot of people in a lot of trouble. Like, that's what got this whole thing started, is just a regular soldier who was a nobody, breaking into Shiganshia, you know what I'm saying? And without that happening, if he would have just turned around when one of their homies died, what was it? It was Peaks. It was supposed to be Jaw Titan, the person who died on the way out there. But I know for sure, like, after that, if I'm Reiner, when Annie's like, let's turn around, I would have turned around. And he hit in his mind, he was like, I don't care if we go out there and die. I'm living for nothing anyway. My dad hates me, you know what I'm saying? My parents don't respect what I'm like. I'm an Eldian. Either way the cut goes, I don't want to go back over there and be a slave. So we got to do this. I'm going to be the hero. Yes. And that attitude that I'm going to prove myself to Marley is what got the whole situation started. So that's the only reason why I don't really like what Gabi did, but that's probably one of the only comparisons you could draw to Reiner versus the many you could compare to Eren. Yeah. So, and like you said, he is just a random soldier. So her actions, I even said myself, her actions didn't hold that much weight. What did she killed Sasha? Who, you know what I'm saying? Sasha's dead, but she didn't really, like you said, it could have been Eren. It could have been Eren. If that would have happened, then this whole thing was for no reason. But it wasn't, and I'm just hoping whatever Eren's plan was, I'm hoping it's going as planned to a certain extent, so we can see what the end result is. I'm hoping it's not a bad end result. I'm hoping like 5 episodes from now, I'm like, damn it, Eren.
Well, we'll see. I mean, Armin's a smart guy. Like, maybe he can go up and be like, hey, like, we can punch you and you bleed.
The situation.
Maybe showing that they can draw blood from Marley is better for peace talks. Like, maybe he can break that into it. Maybe, there's another battle, it's another stalemate, but Eldian comes out like a little bit ahead.
In their court now.
Yeah. So, like, I don't think Eren has put them in an unsalvageable position, but I think that he sort of made them act before they wanted to act, and now they're having to think on their feet, and they didn't really have a concrete plan going in that they wanted to do. So, that's like my main issue. I think that, like, it'll be interesting to see how Gabi reacts to, like, being brought to Paradis, most likely. Like, they're just normal people. Yeah, they're normal people there, right? Like, there's just a bunch of, humans.
She's gonna see the other side of her brainwashing. She's gonna hopefully she gets unbrainwashed, because she's gonna have to see that these people aren't just devils. These people, hopefully she sees what Falco was trying to tell her, like, hey, this shit may be deeper than what we know. And she was like, nah, did you see it? And he was like, I saw Reiner crying. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, I want to see that more than anything. I want to see, that would be the perfect parallel for her to be like, oh shit, I killed an innocent person maybe too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think it'll be hard for her. Like, people have a really hard time realizing everything that they thought was wrong. Or at least very biased, towards their own views or whatever, that they had been only seeing half of this puzzle. So I can see Gabi either completely snapping and just not knowing how to handle it and, like, being mad, or, like, kind of breaking down and going kind of catatonic. She's a very emotional person. So, I feel like there's a lot of ways it could go. But I guess like my hope would be, that as Gabi follows the similar cycle to Eren of like learning what he had been taught was wrong, learning that these people were, treating them incorrectly or whatever, that she is able to, break that wheel of, to quote Game of Thrones from a character who didn't break the wheel, but instead made it out of dragons or whatever. I don't know. The finale sucked. But we'll have to see. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I could see. Have you seen Breaking Bad?
Oh no, I haven't seen. I've been avoiding it. I've been wanting to watch it, but it's been like a.
Okay, I won't go too much of it. Then, like, I guess I could see Eren having like a tragic sort of ending where he, gets some stuff done, but maybe dies because like. Or maybe, I don't know. There's just the great thing about this is that there are so many different ways this could end, and it could feel satisfying in some way.
Miles, that brings me to a really good point because we're coming up on an hour, and I don't want to steal all your time. So I want to ask one final question, and it's kind of what you were leading into it. How would you like Attack on Titan to end? Miles, you can go first.
Sure. Oh God, I don't know.
Spur of the moment, I know, but you gotta think of something.
This is gonna be a hot take. I want Eren to lose, but I want peace to be achieved in some way. Possibly due to Eren's actions. So maybe he can succeed, but I think Eren needs to die because I don't think Eren will ever be satisfied. With. Like much like Alexander Hamilton, he's just gonna keep going at it, and he will never be satisfied. So
is that a Hamilton quote? Or
yeah,
okay.
So because like if he is able to take down enough of the leadership or whatever, then peace is definitely possible once your leadership is toppled. But I think as long as Eren is alive, he isn't going to be happy until Marley is put into the same position that he was in previously, basically. And I just don't think that's viable. I mean, I just don't know what would change his mind on that. So I guess my optimal thing is that Eren does something that is sort of like a self-sacrifice type of thing that is his own decision, and it paves the way for peace or whatever, and he gets to die feeling like he has succeeded in some way, but not necessarily after having like gotten everything he wanted to do, because I think he is very vengeance focused right now.
Miles, it sounds like you need to watch Code Geass. Chrissa, what would be your like dream scenario on how Attack on Titan ends?
Definitely. I would like to see peace achieved for sure. But I'm not more so a fan of the concept of Eren dying, more so of the concept of the Titans dying. I want the concept of using these Titans as weapons to die. I want the concept of people having this power of Warhammer Titan, Jaw Titan, Colossal Titan, Attack Titan. The concept of one person being that Eren or being that one entity, Marley, having all that power, I don't like the concept of that at all. So I hope they get rid of, like, not saying because the whole point of the beginning of Attack on Titan was Eren's like, let's kill all the Titans, and we now know that Titans are people for the most part, aliens. It's a whole thing. I'm not saying we got to get rid of all of them, but I'm just saying the concept of using Titans as weapons and the concept of having these 9 super powerful Titans or however many it is, I don't like the fact that I hope it ends off where they don't leave it open to where like maybe we get an Attack on Titan sequel where somebody gets a hold of Attack Titan and he's a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that to happen again. I feel like a whole lot of this is coming from like if Tybur didn't have Colossal Titan and Armor Titan to send on the hit, we don't get this whole war starting. So I hope it does end with a peaceful ending. I hope we find that peace without, somebody being like, yeah, I got the Titans now, so nobody's gonna be able to do nothing because I got all the Titans, because we see that doesn't work.
Right on.
Yeah, I actually love that. That's really good. I think that as long as there are Titans and they're restricted to one group, there will always be imbalance in the world. And so you either have to subjugate them for your own power or they are subjugating you. So I think that would be a great ending for it. I like that a lot.
Right on. So, honestly, guys, that was a fantastic conversation. That went better than I thought. I guess before we leave, do you have any final thoughts on just Attack on Titan in general? Anything that we maybe didn't bring up that you would like to get a quick snippet in? Otherwise, I think we should start wrapping it up. Miles, you can go first.
Yeah, so Eren did nothing wrong, but or did a bunch of stuff wrong, but Levi's never done anything wrong, and if he just kills everyone in Marley, I'm totally fine with it. Levi's a fucking boss.
That's great. And Chrissa, your thoughts, and then I just want to say thank you for coming on. This was a blast. Maybe when Attack on Titan's over, you can come back on and we can do it another thing. Just maybe where can people find?
I gotta eat all my words.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know, man. Me too. Maybe I'm ready to be hungry when Gabi just murders the fuck out of 40 children or something. That's.
Yeah, so
hopefully next time we link up, I'm not sitting there like fuck Eren.
That'd be amazing. But your thoughts, and where can people find you and stuff like that?
Well, definitely, I want to say that Attack on Titan went from, I think we were talking right before we started, we got on air. We were talking about how we've both tried to watch Attack on Titan or tried to start it and kind of restarted it 3, 4, 5, 6 times and just wasn't interested. And now we're both. It's such a compelling story that we're both arguing different sides of the legitimacy of the morality or whatever. And I just want to say that for everybody who doesn't watch Attack on Titan, it's definitely one of those stories that's it's worth ingesting in some medium, whether you read the manga or watch the anime. I'm definitely pushing the Attack on Titan agenda more than I'm pushing the Eren agenda, the Gabi agenda, because I feel like this is something my girls have been catching up on Inuyasha. She's on episode 106 or something. I've been like, hey, let's take a break and get you started on Attack on Titan. I need somebody to talk to about this shit 24/7. It's that serious. I can't. It's I'm walking around. I talk to my friends about it on a day-to-day basis, and I still feel like I'm not getting enough of it off my chest. We're doing this, and I'm probably gonna still argue with Lyndon and my boy Doom about this later. So I just want to say, kudos to I forget the mangaka's name, but kudos to the mangaka for just creating a great story that is this compelling.
For sure. And that's a great transition, Chrissa. If you want to talk Attack on Titan or any anime, you should join our Discord. Description's in the link below. Other than that, I want to say thank you to Miles and Chrissa for joining me. This was a fantastic episode. I loved every second of it. I want to thank Twitch chat. Thank you guys for being respectful and having a good conversation in Twitch chat while we were doing this. So if you're interested in looking back, check out our Twitch VOD. I'll have that in the description below. But other than that, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you maybe in a few months down the road. We can have another Attack on Titan stream. So thanks a lot, guys, and we'll see you later.
Hey, fuck Gabi. Hey, fuck Gabi. Hey, fuck Falco. Go hit me. Hey,